just moving along, and with the second item or the second topic that I wanted to pinpoint is usually which is the ratio between national and international students?
Well, in our program, we only have a small number of international students. So, usually there's 5 joining our first year students a year, about 5 or 6 joining us a year.
Okay. Do you know the countries they're coming from?
We have students from Mexico, we've had students from China, we've had students from Japan in the past. Mostly, I'd say Mexico. The last few students have been Mexico and Japan and China, yes.
So there's a variety there.
Yes.
What can you tell me about the average age?
Early 20s.
Oh, okay, they're very young.
Yes.
Yeah. And a usual class size?
The maximum class size in our program is 40, the maximum. Second year courses usually have around 25 to 30 on average.
Okay. Well,
First,
thank you for,
first year.
for that. Thank you for that. I think the topic that we're gonna touch right now, it's much interesting for our students around the world, and it's jobs
Right.
in general. Okay, so what would you say jobs in Victoria will be in your area in 4 to 10 years if you study criminal justice? Is there a chance?
I have to say that jobs in the criminal justice field are very much in demand today and in the future. We know that the aging population has a big impact in this area. So a lot of the people that are working in this field are retiring, and a lot of them are baby boomers, for example, and are retiring at the present time. And we know, for example, there's a lot of competition between a lot of these agencies trying to hire our students.
Oh.
So jobs can be from a number of fields, from working in sheriff's service, in the courthouse, to working as a correctional officer, a probation officer, a parole officer, going to law school and becoming a lawyer, working as a conservation officer, working as an inspector in governments and a lot of the compliance and enforcement sector, victim services, working in community agencies, helping youth at risk, working as, in community services and addictions and mental health. There's so many areas that our students are employed in.
Does COVID has impacted jobs?
Well, I think a lot of the jobs in this field are mandatory services. So we have seen, still the demand for jobs are there and are moving forward, especially in law enforcement, policing, and courts and jails, like all those services operate COVID or no COVID, right? They have to be operated and staffed. Same with community agencies providing services. What we've seen is just a change in how they're delivered. But a lot of the other jobs that may be office jobs, for example, or, enforcement or clerk type positions, what's happening with them is they're doing a lot of their work online. But we're not seeing a huge impact in terms of hiring opportunities at all. We're seeing them continue to be in demand.
Oh, okay.
And some of our students, I forgot to say, also enter the security field. I don't want to forget that one. A lot of them become security officers in a variety of different positions as well. And customs and border service. And the list is long. I keep adding to it, but there's so many jobs in this field.
I'm happy to hear you adding more and more jobs and more opportunities to everyone. So I think that's a big plus that criminal justice is offering for the white world if they come and study with us at Camosun. Yeah. The entry-level designations, it depends on the area, or what would you say there?
Well, can you elaborate a bit what you mean by that in terms of what?
Yeah, if you have a potential employer, which will be the entry level designation, I don't know if I'm right, but they will entry like a front line or a supervisor or
Okay, I
a
see what you're
manager? I don't know.
I think it depends on the organization and what
Okay.
you're applying for, right? So for example, if you work in corrections, you want to work in the jails, you will start as a correctional officer and through the internal process will get promoted to the various positions or different opportunities. Same with sheriff service as an example. Law enforcement, you get hired as a constable, right? And then you move up the ranks from there. Community agencies, you're usually hired as a worker and then get promoted. But if you have other experience or other background and apply for other positions, it just depends on the job. It's really hard to answer that in any other way.
Okay, I understand. And I would like to finish with this question. What would you say is the starting salary? What will be the minimum wage if they study criminal justice in their first year? How much will they earn?
It depends on the job. So if you go into corrections, for example, I think it's, I would guess that a starting correctional officer is around 40,000 or so a year. Community services might be a little bit less. Sheriffs are about the same. It just depends on the job, whether it's union or not or type of position. So, and then usually as you train or you get the experience, your salary increases. For example, a fully qualified probation officer averages around 68 to 72,000 a year.
Okay. Well, I think that well, at least we have a glimpse on that one. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I would describe criminal justice as a human program, as a today program, and as a community and safety program. Would you say those words are accurate to describe criminal justice?
Yes, I think from the safety aspect, I would definitely say a public safety perspective. I would say our social justice foundations are very much around the social service and health services and partnerships in the community, that we are community partners in criminal justice. And then there's the legal component, in terms of, administration of law and, the process related to that, as well as support for offenders and reintegration back into communities.
Well, Wendy, thank you very much for this,
Yeah.
for your time, for this opportunity, to everyone knowing you and hearing your answers regarding well, I guess a few of the doubts that many international students has today in order to apply to criminal justice. Thank you very much for your time and hope to see you soon.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.